Call of Duty. The gaming world was drowning in World War II shooters. Medal of Honor owned the genre. Battlefield was making noise. But at some point, players were getting tired of storming the same beaches, liberating the same towns, and fighting the same war over and over again. Everyone assumed they had seen everything the World War II setting had to offer, until a scrappy new studio called Infinity Ward dropped a game that would change everything. That game was Call of Duty, and over the next 2 decades it would grow from a humble World War II shooter into a cultural giant that has sold over 500 million copies and generated around $30 billion in franchise revenue, while creating one of gaming's most iconic sub-series, Black Ops. This is the story of how Call of Duty conquered the world. And it exists because of one guy, Steven Spielberg. Yes, that's Spielberg, the man behind Jaws, E.T., and Jurassic Park. Back in 1997, fresh off directing Saving Private Ryan, Spielberg wanted to teach younger audiences about World War II. But the movie was rated R. Kids couldn't watch it. So he asked himself, how do you reach younger people with a World War II story? Well, if you're Spielberg, you make a video game. His son was obsessed with GoldenEye on the Nintendo 64, so Spielberg thought, why not combine that style of gameplay with the historical weight of World War II? He approached his own company, DreamWorks Interactive, and in 1999, Medal of Honor was born. The developers thought the idea was crazy. In the late 90s, gamers wanted ray guns, aliens, and sci-fi shooters. World War II? That sounded boring. But Spielberg pushed forward, bringing in retired Marine Captain Dale Dye, the same military advisor from Saving Private Ryan, to ensure authenticity. Medal of Honor launched and proved everyone wrong. It was a hit. Then came the sequel, Medal of Honor: Allied Assault, in 2002, made by a small studio called 2015 Incorporated. The game featured an incredible D-Day landing sequence that felt like playing through Saving Private Ryan. It sold nearly 1 million copies in the US alone. But behind the success, a problem was growing. Several key developers, Jason West, Vince Zampella, and Grant Collier, were unhappy with their contract under Electronic Arts. They felt stifled creatively. So they quit, formed their own studio with help from Activision, and called it Infinity Ward. Their mission? Create a Medal of Honor killer. And they did. With just 21 people and a budget of $4.5 million, tiny by today's standards, Infinity Ward set out not just to make another World War II shooter, but to revolutionize the genre. Call of Duty launched on PC on October 29, 2003, and it did something no other shooter had done before. It made you feel like part of a squad. Most shooters at the time were power fantasies, one soldier taking on the whole war. But Call of Duty added AI allies who fought alongside you. They took cover. They laid down suppressing fire. They called out enemies. For the first time, you felt like a soldier, not a superhero. The game won multiple Game of the Year awards and sold millions. Activision now had a real rival to Medal of Honor. The franchise war had begun. Call of Duty 2 launched in 2005 as a major release for the brand new Xbox 360. It sold around 6 million copies and proved the franchise could thrive on consoles. But Activision had a problem. If they wanted a new Call of Duty every year, one studio wasn't enough. AAA games take about 3 years to make. So Activision brought in another developer. Enter Treyarch. Their first Call of Duty was Call of Duty 3, released in 2006. It sold about 7 million copies. The game was solid, but not groundbreaking. The World War II fatigue was real, but nobody knew that Treyarch was about to change the franchise forever. Meanwhile, Infinity Ward was cooking up something that would change shooters forever. On November 6, 2007, the world changed. Because Infinity Ward stepped away from World War II. They went modern. Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare released that fall, and it was instantly clear this wasn't just another Call of Duty. Russian ultranationalists, Middle Eastern insurgents acquiring nuclear weapons, SAS operatives and US Marines trying to stop a global crisis. Modern Warfare sold over 15 million copies and influenced an entire generation of shooters. Infinity Ward proved Call of Duty could be anything. Then came the sequel. Modern Warfare 2, released in 2009, was a phenomenon. It sold 25 million copies. Midnight lines wrapped around stores. People called off work just to play. But behind the scenes, disaster was brewing. Activision fired studio heads West and Zampella in early 2010. Half the studio walked out in protest. Infinity Ward was suddenly crippled, and that crack in the armor gave Treyarch their moment. Treyarch released Call of Duty World at War in 2008. At first, players weren't excited to return to World War II after Modern Warfare, but the game was darker, grittier, more brutal than anything before it. And then came the mode that changed everything: zombies. Originally a small side experiment, the first map, Nacht der Untoten, became an instant hit. Nobody knew it then, but zombies was about to become a cultural icon. Treyarch refined everything with Black Ops. By 2010, with Infinity Ward in chaos, Treyarch had the spotlight. Call of Duty Black Ops launched, and it surpassed expectations. The game dove into the Cold War. You played as CIA operative Alex Mason as he relived dangerous missions through chaotic flashbacks. The story touched on Cuba, Vietnam, and a Soviet chemical weapons plot. It was bold, cinematic, and unforgettable. Black Ops proved Treyarch wasn't just the backup studio. They had their own identity, darker stories, deeper customization, and the birth of a massive zombies storyline. Then Treyarch took things to a whole new level. Black Ops 2, released November 13, 2012, wasn't just successful, it was an event. $500 million in 24 hours, $1 billion in 15 days. One of the fastest entertainment launches in history. It featured two timelines, the 1980s and the year 2025, and introduced branching decisions with multiple endings, a first for the franchise. Then came the villain, Raúl Menendez, one of the most beloved antagonists in Call of Duty history. Multiplayer evolved with the Pick-10 system, allowing complete class freedom. It pushed competitive Call of Duty forward with League play, and zombies exploded into full-blown mythology with maps like Mob of the Dead, Buried, Origins. Black Ops 2 became one of the best-selling Call of Duty games ever. It wasn't just a sequel, it was a peak, a cultural moment that shaped everything after. After Black Ops 2, the series jumped into the future. Advanced Warfare, 2014, Black Ops 3, 2015, and Infinite Warfare, 2016, all featured exosuits, wall running, boost jumps, and high-tech weapons. Advanced Warfare sold over 20 million. Black Ops 3 landed in the mid-20s. Infinite Warfare was rejected. Hard. Its reveal trailer became one of the most disliked videos on YouTube. Players were tired of jetpacks. They wanted boots on the ground again. Activision listened. In 2017, Call of Duty World War II returned the franchise to its roots. Then big changes came. Black Ops 4 dropped the campaign entirely and introduced Blackout, Call of Duty's first battle royale. Then, Infinity Ward rebooted Modern Warfare in 2019. But the real earthquake hit in March 2020. Call of Duty Warzone. A free-to-play battle royale with 150 players, 60 million downloads in 2 months, and it launched right as the world went into lockdown. Warzone became a phenomenon. Then Treyarch returned with Black Ops Cold War in 2020, rushed, but massively successful. Black Ops 6 arrived in 2024 with Omni Movement, a Gulf War campaign, classic zombies, and the biggest launch day in franchise history. Now Black Ops 7 takes us into the year 2035, following David Mason against a new enemy called the Guild, connecting everything from Black Ops 2 through Black Ops 6. All of it exists because of that legendary Black Ops run. Today, the franchise has sold over 500 million copies. It has spawned mobile games, comics, esports leagues, movies, and unforgettable memories. Kids who played the original Call of Duty in 2003 are now adults playing with their own kids. And somehow, 22 years later, Call of Duty is still the biggest shooter in the world.